Nigeria may be going through a rough economic patch at the moment, but it's simply business as usual in politics. Some analysts are even predicting this could turn out to be the most expensive presidential campaigns in the country's political history. Now, that is despite the fact that the actual period for campaigning before election is very short this time. Nigeria's Electoral Act prescribes a presidential candidate can spend no more than 1 billion naira, that's about $6 million for presidential campaigns. But in reality, this is a far cry from what politicians actually spend. One man who knows so much is Chiman Naji, who once ran for governorship of his state.
1 billion naira, can it pay for the flight bills, the charter bills of a private jet that freight, these candidates from one corner of the country to another? Can it pay for the hotel bills? Let's take, for example, the major political parties, especially those who did their primaries outside the national headquarters. People had to be lodged, and candidates bore the bills of many of those people who attended the event so that they can settle, they can vote for them.
Campaign posters now flood more places than in previous elections. You find these posters everywhere in the country, jostling for people's attention. And sometimes you think the posters are cheap, but in fact, they are not. They are quite expensive. We understand 5,000 copies of these posters actually go for 150,000 naira. That's about $1,000. And the candidate needs to print millions of copies to make any impact. And then you have the rallies. Candidates now hold daily campaign rallies across the country. And guess what? Rallies are now bigger and more expensively organized than in the past.
If you want to hazard a guess, there's no rally that can cost, especially for the presidential rallies, no matter how prudent you want to be, none of the rallies can come short of 1 billion naira. Because you are not talking about the music, you're not talking about the feeding, you're not talking about the drinks, you're not talking about the logistics, you're not talking about accommodation, okay? You are also talking about the cash that will be shared among the plenitude of those people that you see in the rally.
And the expenses don't just end with the rallies, he says. Election day expenditure is key.
The voting day is the God knows what day. That is the day if you are out of cash in our climb. Cash, not promises. No credit. No checks. If you are out of cash, you are most likely to lose that election.
For now, with no one apparently calling them to check, the politicians are spending way beyond the prescribed limits to get the votes. Deji, Badmus, CCTV, Lagos, Nigeria.